This project is incredible. Let me show you what is essentially a completely open source version of Perplexity. And if you're not familiar with Perplexity, this is it. It's basically an answer engine, and a lot of people are using it instead of Google search now. You enter your query and it uses artificial intelligence to put together a page to answer your question directly. Let me show you. So I'm gonna ask, how do I make ramen? And so we got pictures of ramen over on the right side. We have the answer right here, step by step. It also has the sources that it pulled this information from. So it basically is Google search, but instead of having to click through a bunch of links, it gives you the answer directly, and it's super useful. But what if I wanted to do this completely open source and even run it using open source models? Well, that's what this is. I'm on localhost 3000, and this is called Answer Engine. So let me ask the same question. How do I make ramen? All right, we got pictures, we have videos right there. And here we go. I'm using Mixtral on Grok, and it gave me step-by-step instructions for how to make ramen. Gave me sources right there. I can click on any of these videos and it'll play the video. I can click on that video. So all the videos are played in the same screen. I can click the images. Here's another one. Here's another one. And it is super fast, super easy to use, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So let's go. All right, so this project is by Developers Digest at dev_digest on X. Today I'm open sourcing my Next.js LLM answer engine. So it is supposed to be essentially an open source version of Perplexity. It uses Vercel, it uses Grok for the inference, very fast inference I must say, Mistral AI Labs, LangChain, OpenAI embeddings, and Brave and Serper API. And this is the GitHub URL. And it's still a relatively new project. The entire thing was only created a few days ago. It has 300 stars, but hopefully after this video, it gains a lot of momentum because this is an awesome project. All right, so to install it, we're gonna open up VS Code. You're gonna click up in the top right to open a new terminal. We're going to CD to your desktop or wherever you want to clone the repository. Switching back to the GitHub repo, we're gonna click this green code button, and then we're gonna click copy URL to clipboard. Switch back to VS Code, and we're going to type git clone, and then we're going to paste in the GitHub repository. Hit enter. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to CD into LLM answer engine, LLM-answer-engine. Hit enter. Now, according to the instructions, you can either use npm or bun, and I've been using bun a little bit lately, so let's use that. So I'm going to type bun install, and then it's going to install all the requirements very fast. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to click File, Open Folder, go to the desktop, and then we're going to open up our LLM answer engine in VS Code. Now we have this .env.example, so you're going to right click on that, and we're going to click Rename, and we're going to rename it to just .env, hit enter. Open it up, and here we're going to enter our OpenAI API key for the embeddings. We're going to use Grok for Mixtral, Brave for the search, and Serper API for search also. So let's grab the OpenAI API key first. So if you don't already have a developer account with OpenAI, go ahead and sign up. I'm going to click Create New Key. I'm going to name it perp_yt for Perplexity. Hit enter. I'm going to grab this API key, and I am going to revoke this API key before publishing this video. All right, so we paste it in right there, and then we need the Grok API key. So we're going to go to console.grok.com/playground. We're going to click the API keys button right there. I'm going to click create new key. We're going to call it perp_yt. I'm going to hit enter. Copy the key, switch back to VS Code. I'm going to paste it in right there. Next, let's grab the Brave key. And one by one, we're going to grab them all. So once again, sign up for Brave. It is free. I believe you have to put your credit card in, but they're not going to charge you anything. So I already created a key right there. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. But if you haven't, you add API key right there. So I'm going to click and enter it right there. And then for Serper, we need that as well. So let's go grab that. So I signed into Serper. Click the API key, and I'm going to copy it right there. Paste it in, hit save. Now we have everything we need. And that's really it. So now that we have all the API keys set up, we're going to click the terminal button right there. We're still in LLM answer engine, and we just do bun run dev. Hit enter. All right, there. Now it's up and running, ready in 11 seconds. So hold down your command key and then click on localhost, or you can just simply copy paste it. And we can see it's compiling, so the first time it runs, it takes a little while. And there it is, LLM answer engine. So let's give it a try. How do I make ramen? Hit enter. And there we go. It all works. Amazing. I absolutely love this. So if you have the server running in the background, you can have essentially Perplexity for free anytime you want running locally. All right, so let's say you want to run the models completely locally. So I downloaded and installed Ollama, and if you don't know how to do that, just go to ollama.ai. It's super simple. I'm going to open up a new terminal. I'm going to make sure we have Ollama running. Okay, so we do. I'm going to list. I have no models downloaded, so let's download Mistral because it's smaller, it'll run quickly, and it'll be easier to run on my machine. So Ollama pull Mistral, and it's going to download Mistral. It's only 4 gigabytes, so it should only take a couple minutes. Now let me tell you what we're going to do while it's downloading. Right here, we're just going to replace the base URL, and that's really it. So we replace the base URL with our Ollama served endpoint, and then for the API key, we're simply going to put in Ollama, but I'll show you that in a moment. Now, the only other thing that hits a third-party API that actually costs money is the OpenAI embeddings. Now, I don't think there's a way to add, for example, Nomics embeddings that can run locally and is really fast, but if this project gets enough momentum, hopefully we can replace the embeddings with something local. And then really the only thing we're doing after that is searching, and that obviously can't be local. And so that'll be the only piece that actually hits the web, but that is a requirement because we're actually doing a Google search to find some of this information. All right, so it's done downloading, success, and now let's make sure we are serving it. So Ollama serve. Hit enter. Okay, so I tried to do Ollama serve, but I think since I already have Ollama running, we don't need to do that again. So we're going to replace this base URL right there. And I believe we're going to replace it all the way through V1. So let's go ahead and replace that. And then for the API key, we're going to use Ollama. Then we're saving it. So that should work. Let's switch back to Bun. Okay, let's restart the server just in case. I don't think you have to with next, but let's do it anyways. Okay. All done. We have the answer engine. Let's refresh the page. Okay. How do I make ramen? And let's see if it worked. All right, so I could not get this to work with Ollama. I suspect I'm pretty close, but I'm going to tell you what I've done so far, and then maybe you could either fix it or maybe there is something actually wrong. But either way, let me show you what I've done. So for the base URL, I'm using localhost 11434/v1, and that is the URL that Ollama serves when you start it up. API key right there, Ollama. Now, if I switch over to the Ollama tab, which I'm already in, you could see when I'm hitting the endpoint, it's actually receiving it. So you could see it might be processing. My video actually might be running a little bit slow right now, but it's not quitting. So I'm going to quit out of there. And what I did is Ollama_host equals 0000 Ollama serve. And I did this because there seems to be a little issue with Ollama recently, and you actually have to specify the local host, but let's give it a try. So then I just hit serve and it loads. Then from here, I searched for all the times that we're referencing the model name. So I just did a code-wide search for model. And before it had Mixtral in here, so I just replaced it with Mistral. So let's go back, bun run dev, and let's see if we can get it running one more time. All right, so I said, how do I make ramen? And here we go. You can see a bunch of stuff just got output, so it definitely got the request, but nothing's happening in the interface. I don't see any errors either, so very odd. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe it's that Mistral isn't actually returning anything useful. It could be that, and I need to try Mixtral. But either way, it seems to be getting the request. It seems to be responding correctly. So it could be the fact that it's responding with something that this project doesn't understand because it's not actually using the Mixtral model. But either way, awesome project. Try it out. Let me know if you get Ollama working. And if you do, drop a comment and tell me how you did it. If you liked this video, please consider giving a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.